Shifters, entrepreneurs on the move, with your host, Amanda Barr, bringing you power-packed 15-minute conversations with entrepreneurs who share their stories of shifting in life and business to keep on the move.
I have a special treat for you today. I've got not just one girl boss, I've got two. I'm excited to introduce to you Lana Hout and Adrianna Smith. They're America's top female business brokers. To date, they have listed over 75 million, yes, million, in businesses for sale. They're passionate about working with business owners and entrepreneurs to maximize the value of their businesses. Welcome to the show, Lana and Adrianna.
Thanks for having us, Amanda.
I can't wait for you to tell us a little bit about your story and how you got to this place and how you guys got to working together, too. Maybe you can share a little bit of that. Whichever one of you wants to take the floor.
Sure. So Adrianna and I actually have been friends since college. We met at USC, and we were both studying finance. So you can imagine finance isn't super popular with the girls, so there's not that many females in that major. And so very quickly, Adrianna and I became really good friends, and then we both ended up pursuing careers in business valuation and transaction advisory. Adrianna started at Deloitte. I started at Duff & Phelps, and then a little bit after I joined Adrianna at Deloitte & Touche, and we worked there for a couple of years. And then really we had the opportunity through Adrianna's father, who's been a business broker for many, many years, to open up a business brokerage here in Los Angeles. And we have been helping clients buy and sell businesses across all industries for the last 6 years now.
Wow. Love it. My goodness, it's incredible. And so you're Adrianna, you've been in this world for a while with your family in it as well.
Yes, actually my father's been in the industry for over 50 years, and he and my grandmother had a brokerage back in New Jersey where we're from. So technically I am a third generation broker. It's been in my blood, and I always say that, since I was a little girl sitting at the kitchen table, I was talking deals with my dad. So it's all kind of come to fruition now.
That's awesome. Well, you're definitely keeping the family tradition going. And I'm just fascinated because you both are working with businesses, and I know the show is all about the shifting, and I'd love to kind of dive into your world of how you guys have shifted and even how maybe you're shifting with businesses as they're kind of moving out or they're being bought.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I would say that, the first real shift that Adrianna and I did was really like leaving corporate America to start this business brokerage. I mean, that was, a big, risk on our part. We left a steady paycheck and, took a huge risk with no guarantee of any success. But I mean, really all we had was our belief in ourselves and just taking that leap of faith. And, 6 years later, we're going strong. So that was really, I think, our first major shift.
And I would love to dive into that conversation because I know you guys both had great positions, and I know the entrepreneur world it is a bit risky, but it's exciting. And how did you guys say yes, we want to do this? Because I know you were friends in college, but what got it started? Because you were working in two different companies.
Yes. So really, because I had prior experience through my family with business brokerage, I was working in corporate at Deloitte, working with publicly traded companies when they would acquire privately held companies. And at that rate, they were, hundreds of millions of dollars. So I've always been in this transactional world, and Lana too, in her roles. And so, I was there. I was already a manager. I knew that path, and I had a good path, and Lana did too at her firm. But we thought, here we are running our projects, maintaining all the client relations at this point, and we're just wondering, why don't we do something for ourselves? We're smart and capable, and this could be, the perfect time to take a risk like that. And so it was really just getting to a point in your career where, you decide, are you going to stick it out for the long haul at, the company you're with and go to partner, or do you want to take a risk on yourself?
Love it. Love it. Yeah, my husband and I did the same thing. We had to choose, do we want to stick in corporate America or do we want to build something of our own? And there's that leap, that leap of faith, and then you just get to work and you make it happen. So maybe you can share a little bit more, I think, into that world and maybe even into that confidence. Like you guys, you said you believed in yourselves and you believed in each other. Being a female business owner myself, I think that's one area that I think sometimes gets kind of mulled over. People don't really talk about it. But how do you guys keep up that confidence? You've done 75 million. That's a big number. And kind of take me through that confidence through that process.
Well, Adrianna and I, like we said earlier, we've been friends since college. And I think that, when you go into business with anyone, definitely having a business partner that you can, trust, that you have the same, values and work ethic is a really kind of like vital part to like being successful. Adrianna and I, when we talk about kind of believing in ourselves, it was one of those moments where you just look at each other and you're like, okay, are we going to do this? And if we're going to do this, we're going to do it, go big or go home style. You know what I mean? So that was something for us that it was just, we had the confidence from the fact that we had the experience and the knowledge and the education behind us. And it was really more just like, ultimately we just need to kind of push forward and go out there and try, because really it's like, when you build something for yourself, that's like the biggest reward, I think, possible. Adrianna, do you have anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think the important thing when you're making a key shift in your life or career or, starting a business, you have to just have the mantra that failure is not an option. When you take that, like failing, like really failing, okay, out of the option pool, you will figure it out. And I think that, Lana and I have always, been high achievers, ambitious, and we've always been willing to figure things out. And especially, when things get hard, and they will get hard. And then you think that, it's really hard, and then it gets harder. And so, but then as long as you just don't give up and keep, persisting and learning at the same time, Lana and I would always, and still do, give each other, feedback in different forums. And sometimes we take the feedback we hear from like clients or peers, and we're always looking to learn and see how we can improve. So really being good at business and as an entrepreneur is how fast you can learn things. And, I think that where people struggle sometimes is when they think that they know everything already.
Couldn't have said it better. That was great nugget and share, and I love that when it gets hard, it's going to get harder, and you just keep moving and learning. and I you guys are working with businesses, and they're at that pivotal point. They're looking to sell. I would love to learn more about that world and kind of what is shifting. You've been doing this for 6 years. What are some of those shifts in your space, and maybe some of those nuggets for people out there that maybe don't know what's available to them, or even what could be available to them in the future?
Sure. So, we've been doing this for about 6 years, and essentially we help clients to buy and sell businesses. We focus on the small market, so across all industries, but 25 million and under. So we can sell something as small as, a $100,000 restaurant to a, $15 million manufacturer, and kind of every industry in between. I think right now a lot of people are thinking about, what they want to do with their lives in terms of careers. So we do see a lot of buyers coming into the market that maybe had corporate jobs and are looking to really invest in themselves, which is very exciting because it's actually something that we've done ourselves. For us personally, the shift in our business has really been when Adrianna and I started, we really focused on being like basically sole practitioners. It was just her and I, and we were just building our book of business. And really over the years, the second kind of major shift we had to do was really building an office and bringing on agents to come in, and really going from the role of, just working on our clients to managing an office and, supervising and training and, really kind of investing in other people and managing multiple people in addition to your own book of business. And so that's for us personally kind of how we've been really shifting and, really assuming more of the role of leadership in our business. But then, with our clients, we definitely see, baby boomers are retiring. They want to sell their business. And so we're really there to help kind of assist the transition.
Awesome. And when is a good time? I mean, I know you guys have been doing this, but if somebody is not sure or they have a business and they're not sure when they should talk to you, what is a good time to start the conversation?
I would say now. Ideally, business owners would start to plan for a sale or their exit or a succession 2 to 5 years before they actually need to be out. A lot of business owners, and most of the business owners in our marketplace, don't do it that far in advance. And a lot of times they come to us and it's kind of, they need to sell now. They're tired or they're burnt out or someone's sick, and, that leaves them in a disadvantaged position because, the business is likely not just ready for sale, not ready with financials and, infrastructure and different marketability factors. But if they, come in advance and we can kind of check in, do an initial free consultation, give them an idea where they stand, then, and most of the time when we tell people what they're worth now, they usually think it should be higher. So if you have a little time, you can actually make the fixes in your business and build it out to actually be worth what you want it to be worth. But, if you're at the end of your rope already, then there's no time to do that, and that would make a more discounted sale outcome. So really, you can never really start early enough, whether it's talking to us as well as, the other advisors that come into play during a sale transaction.
No, I think that's great advice. I think that, sometimes it's just like anything. If you go to the last, you don't have that time. But I think even knowing that a business owner could potentially have their business be worth more if they took the time to find out what would those missing links and how to bring it all together, and how your team can help get them on the right track to a powerful sell. And I would love to just kind of open up the space. If you have any other shifts, I have to say, you guys are so incredible. You're doing such great work, helping people kind of move and transition through. And is there any others that, we might have missed, as we're coming to the close? I'd love to hear any other shifts you think that would be great for the audience to hear today.
Well, I think, for us, the shift that we have been really currently in, is right now is that we're focusing on ways on how we can modernize and really streamline our business so we can kind of leverage ourselves in the business. It's sort of like the concept of like working on the business instead of in the business. And so thinking about how to automate the business, how to, put other people in place to help really just make, the processes and the procedures run smoothly. And it's kind of that concept of moving from like a technician to a manager to an entrepreneur. And so really that's been the next shift, is really, it's like now we have these agents that we manage. Okay, how can we streamline our business as well as the office as a whole so that we can really take the business to the next level?
And I would just add to that, while this is our current shift that we're in, this is applicable to all business owners and entrepreneurs, especially in small businesses, because the owners in smaller businesses tend to stay in that technician or sometimes manager role the entire life cycle of the business, 20, 30, 40, 50 years sometimes. And they never got to the final level of really just being that strategic entrepreneur and removing themselves from the day-to-day, which only then can you really work on the business and scale it to be something even more valuable than you could have imagined in the first place.
Yeah, it's such a great reminder to businesses out there. And I always like to think, like, if God forbid something happened, your business would keep running. And the exciting thing is you're still here, so you still are a part of it. But that same concept that if that business can run without you, you're doing something right. And as much as you're a special component of that business, that can help you do a lot. That's some great advice today. My goodness, power packed. And to kind of wrap it all up, I'd love to hear what's your advice for the entrepreneurs out there that are, maybe they're in the mix, maybe they're brand new, maybe they're, been in the business for 20, 30 years, and those that are getting ready to exit. What's your advice for keeping on the move?
Well, I think, if anyone learns anything from our story, it's, bet on yourself, believe in yourself, and really go after your dreams. I think that is one of the most important aspects of, really going after what you want in this life. And so that's what I would tell any entrepreneur, is really just have the confidence in yourself and in your capabilities and know that you will figure it out.
And I would also just add to that is to be flexible. Business is always a changing environment. And if anything, with technology and the way that we operate now, it changes even faster. And so you being flexible and open to new ideas, new business models, new systems can really help you stay ahead of the curve and, affect the longevity of your business.
Amazing. I love them both. I'm going to put those in my wheelhouse as well as reminders. and what's the best way? Obviously, I want those that are out there that are listening, that if they've got a business and they're thinking, yeah, maybe this is time for me to kind of sit down and talk to Lana and Adrianna about selling my business and just at least to get some more information. How do they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Sure. They can reach us on thebizhotlist.com and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the social medias at The Biz Hot List.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, both of you, girl bosses for sure, bringing it home. Thank you for being on the show, and I'm wishing you guys incredible success now and into the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
We hope you enjoyed the episode today. We appreciate each one of you for listening and hope you left inspired and motivated to keep on the move. If you think this episode might help or inspire someone else, please share. Don't forget to subscribe and keep in the loop to hear more incredible stories of entrepreneurs like yourself on the move. Thank you for our supporters, RTB Capital Group, Financial Powerhouse, Callcast, and Power Podcasting. Now, get out there and keep on the move.